awesome, absolutely awesome. Love it when a plan comes together. Definitely worth a look. Yeah, it was well on par. Good evening, people. How are we all doing? Fucking hell. I've just got back from seeing Sucker Punch, directed by Zack Snyder, starring Emily Browning, Abby Cornish, Gina Malone, Vanessa Hudgens, Jamie Chung, Carla Gugino. It was fantastic. Seriously, I don't know why people... You know what? People can give this a bad review as much as they want, but I read an interview that Zack Snyder did with Empire Movie Magazine, and he basically states that Sucker Punch, the movie, pretty much is a full-on sucker punch. Okay, it's supposed to just hit you right in the face without you even realizing what's going on. Okay, you can sit there, you can try and figure out what's going on, you can try and figure out the plot, you can try and, you know, just follow it as closely as possible, which is not impossible, by the way. Yet at the same time, if you're looking for, you know, for something to make sense, don't. Because this is a film that pretty much has all the key elements that a fantasy-based film needs to have. Okay, you've got hot chicks, you've got robots, you've got dragons, you've got samurai warriors, you've got World War II, you know, German fighters as well. There's nothing straightforward about this film, to be honest with you. The plot, basically, the story goes that a young girl by the name of Baby Doll, bless her, played by Emily Browning, who I have to say is yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Anyway, she's sent to a mental institute by her abusive stepfather, and meets 4 other girls there who go by the name of Sweet Pea, Rocket, Blondie and Amber, and she suddenly hatches a plan to escape from this mental facility. Now, it's not so much, you know, the escaping side of things, it's how they go about escaping is where the action of this film really, really comes alive. As I was watching it, all I kept thinking was, just how exactly does one, you know, hatch a plan to escape from a heavily guarded mental institute? You know, it's kind of, put it this way, as you're watching the movie, the signs are there of how she's going to get out, what she's going to use as a distraction. Okay, there are 5 things that she needs to, 5 items that she needs to collect. Okay, and it's how she goes about collecting those items. It's what was really interesting for me in the film. It's how she enters the fantasy world that she creates and allows herself and the girls that she's with to, you know, successfully escape from this mental institute. But the message that I got from this film, as I say, it's not a case of how one escapes, it's how one delves into the recess of their mind. Okay, we're thinking Inception here, okay, so think Inception. You delve into the recess of your mind, okay, you've created this world, this fantasy world, on your own, and pretty much you rule that world. Okay, like the first one where she's attacking these 3 15 feet tall samurai warriors, it was just mind-blowing as far as I'm concerned. It really was fantastic. Just the way, it's almost as if she orchestrated it right from the word go. She allowed herself to get beaten, but how she overcame these 3 warriors was just, in the end, she sort of woke up and said, hang on, this is my fantasy, this is my world, I may have brought you 3 into it, but I'm going to get you out of it as well. So that's how you've got to look at it. She creates these worlds, she brings the people in, and it's how she comes out of it successfully is what really makes the film really interesting as far as I'm concerned. John Hamm is in it as well. There's what's known as the wise man, played by Scott Glenn, and he's pretty much in all the fantasy sequences. Okay, but there's one thing I've got to make you aware of. Okay, there are three things that you need to watch in this movie. Three particular things you need to pay attention to. Right, the first is the narration at the beginning. Okay, the second is when Carla Gugino's character, Dr. Zorsky, is telling Baby Doll, you know, giving her instructions, or sort of like giving her confident words to express herself, to bring herself out, kind of thing, of how she will want to get out, to escape. Basically, she's using the power of music. Okay, Dr. Zorsky is using the power of music to allow these girls to feel better about themselves, to just let their emotions out. That you've got to pay attention to. And the third one is the narration at the end. Okay, once you've paid attention to all those three, you've pretty much got the film figured out. You might get the film figured out in the first 5 minutes. I know a lot of people tend to say, oh, I got it figured out in the first 5 minutes, I already knew what was going to happen. Fair play to you, fine. Me, I'm not like that. I like to watch the film and figure things out as and when they happen. And that's pretty much what I did. And as I say, I came out of the cinema thinking, well, hang on, the three things that stood out was the narration at the beginning, what Dr. Zorsky was telling Baby Doll, and then the narration at the end. But then you get a twist as well. There is a twist in this movie, and it is very interesting as well, how that twist works out. There are actually quite a number of twists. But again, I really did love the film. You know, and the action sequences, I've got to give Zack Snyder absolute credit, and I'm so fucking glad that he's going to do the new Superman movie. I don't care what anyone says about his slow-mo sequences being so pointless. There was nothing pointless about them in this film. All the action sequences done in slow-mo were perfect. I didn't see anything wrong. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm sitting there and I'm just in absolute awe thinking, this guy is going to make Superman epic. Okay, Superman is in good hands as far as I'm concerned with Zack Snyder. So hats off to you, Zack. Thank you very much, and thanks to the cast of Sucker Punch as well. I really enjoyed it. Take what you want from it yourselves. If you thought it was bad, fine. If you thought it was great, brilliant. You know, I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I came out of there with a big smile on my face thinking, I've just watched 5 hot birds take on samurai warriors, fucking dragons and robots, and a bunch of German Nazis. I mean, it just doesn't get better than that, to be honest. And also, what you also need to realise is that the wise man gives the girls specific instructions. Every time he tells them what's about to happen, he always says, oh, and one more thing. And that's the key moment, that the girls, that you think to yourself, the girls are either in trouble or somehow they've got to come up with something really awesome to escape from this. But yeah, as I say, it really is awesome. And then you've got this guy actor called Oscar Isaac. Now I was trying to figure out where he was from, and I realised he played Prince John in Robin Hood that Russell Crowe was in last year, and he was awesome as Prince John. And again tonight as what his character's called, Blue Jones, is quite awesome. But it's the setting as well. There's the setting of the film. You've got the mental institute, but then it changes into what appears to be a brothel of some sort. It's like almost like a theatre, but then behind the scenes you've got a brothel as well. Okay, so the girls work for Blue Jones, and he pretty much basically tells them what's what. And then obviously we then enter the fantasy world within Baby Doll's mind. It's how she escapes into that fantasy world is what was really brilliant. I mean, the message there kind of says, you know, if you're in that situation where you're not right in the head, you go to a place where you feel safe, where you've created this world for yourself. You've put all these things and all these people inside it, and you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want. And then towards the end of the film, when well, don't even want to give it away, to be honest. Okay, all I'm going to say is the basis of the film is she's basically sent to a mental institute. She's due to be she's due to be lobotomized within 5 days, and within those 5 days she's got to escape. And as I say, it's how she goes through the plans of escaping is just what makes the film amazing. So yeah, 10 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned for Sucker Punch. I really enjoyed it, and I hope if you did see it, I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, let me know what you thought of it. If you didn't, again, let me know what you thought of it or why you didn't enjoy it. But kudos to Zack Snyder, kudos to the cast. Incidentally, Amanda Seyfried was supposed to play the lead character of Baby Doll. And watching Emily Browning, I can kind of see how Amanda could have done it as well. So, but it was good that you know, you had Emily in there instead. But all the females were fantastic. Wow, brilliant. Get me some cosplay girls in those costumes, and I'll die a happy man. Thank you. Okay, sorry about the longness of this review, but you know, I couldn't help it. But thank you anyway for watching, and of course, again, congratulations to Lord Resurrey, as you've just watched way earlier, before this video, was his intro that he successfully won in the competition that I did. So, good night from me. Have a good weekend.